Hello! Hey everyone, Phil here, just saying hi. And hey, we're going to get into volume 3 now, all right? And volume 3 is going to start to really take a lot of the stuff that we put together and push it into a realm of being much more defined and just really getting some more concepts out, but also taking these patterns of scale patterns and really truly beginning to wrap them around chord shapes. And to me, volume 3 is really where the rubber meets the road. You know, everything up until this point has been building to get to this point where everything has a meat to it. And if you apply this stuff, if you work on this stuff and start looking outside of what even just I'm showing, you'll start to make connections to other patterns that are not being shown in these books. And what I mean by that is we are wrapping scale notes around chord shapes. That's the core of what I believe is really, it opens everything up. But beyond that, you then are able to take that concept and start making larger connections up and down the neck in such a way it's different than what I'm showing in these books. Now, why would I say that? Why would I say I'm showing something in these books, but then I'm also telling you to do something that's not in these books? Because it's called being creative, all right? And I just get this out as a concept as you dive into volumes 3 and 4. As you do volumes 3 and 4, I want you to think about thinking of more linear patterns that move through scale and chord patterns up and down the neck, and not necessarily just a chord and playing around that pattern as a scale pattern. Because after this stuff gets established, after you get through volumes 3 and 4 and you get that established, you're going to want to push that into another realm. And that next realm is really almost going back into a traditional scale system where you're wrapping scale systems, scale patterns, but that are traditional. But see, when you do this after doing volumes 3 and 4, you're going to automatically see these chord shapes within all of those other patterns that are traditions. And those are going to be some other books that I'm going to be coming out with as well down the road. Volumes 5 and 6 are really going to be dealing with chords and taking simplified chords and creating more complex chords on top of those chord shapes as well. But that was a little bit of a tangent as an intro into volume 3. I mean, think about that. I'm asking you to think after you're done with volume 3 and 4, think beyond what volume 3 and 4 are going to show you here. And the reason I throw this out now is because I want it up here now. So you're not thinking, well, I got to do what this book says. Yeah, you should do what the books say, but don't limit yourself to what these books say. You should never do that. I encourage anyone to find other ways to bring these concepts in. But the key in these books is that we are going to take simplified major and minor chord shapes and we are wrapping scales around them to the point where you get to know them so well that you'll be able to create and see other chord shapes around the chord shapes you're already playing, which is what is cool about it. Remember, in a major key, in any mode of the basic modes, right? Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Locrian, all right? All those 7 modes, every single one of those modes have 3 major chords, 3 minor chords, and 1 diminished chord. If we just think about major chords, the Ionian mode, and the minor keys, or the Aeolian mode, those are 2 of the 7, and those tend to be the most highly used, well used, most common. But depending on where your skill set is, they're not always used, right? And so you're going to go and venture off into other modes. And the modes that I just mentioned are the most basic ones. There's a bunch of others. We're not going to go there because we want to keep this simple so we build on top of this information as we move forward. Now, I just touched on a bunch of stuff that I'm going to go into more detail in book 3 and then in the book 4 as well. But I'm just trying to set a template here about just thinking a little bit more outside the box, as well as thinking, don't just be limited to what these books say. Okay, that being said, I'm going to sign off, and we're going to start to dive into other lessons. We're going to start to dive into the very first lessons that are in book 1, and that is the concept of all the different octave shapes. I touched on this in a video just a little bit ago about learning the neck, but we're going to cover all the octave shapes now, not just 2 basic octave shapes. We're going to cover all 4, so 2 more, but we're going to deal with the concepts of 4s and 3s and unison shapings, so, or symmetrical shapings, I should say. All right, see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching this video. Again, I'm Phil Olson. To purchase the Awesome Guitar Series, click on the link below. It'll take you to Amazon. You can see full descriptions of each one of the volumes. After you've made your purchase and you receive them, go home and practice.